Renewable Resources for Transportation in the Future by Timothy Vera. Hi, my name is Timothy Vera. I was born in Methuen, Massachusetts. I live in Spartanburg, South Carolina, and I love to drive. I am a freshman at Clemson University and majoring in mechanical engineering. My dream job is to have a company that produces vehicles that run on renewable resources. Renewable resources are the future. It won't just be beneficial for a few people. It will be beneficial for everyone. Just imagine what you could do if you could have unlimited energy and power. There are benefits to renewable resources. Here are a couple. First, the economy would improve due to the decrease on the dependency of foreign oils and fossil fuels. Second, there would be an increase in American jobs, decreasing unemployment. There are several different types of renewable resources. Here are the three main types. Hydro, which is water, solar, which is sun, and wind power. Water power. Water mills are big wheels which are turned by water. The wheel then spins a shaft that is connected to the wheel's axle, which then spins cogs and gears to work machinery. The type of mill or wheel depends on the position of the wheel on the water. Here are the three main types. Undershot, which allows water to flow beneath the wheel, which has rectangular buckets. Overshot, which allows water to flow over the wheel. And breastshot, which allows water to flow directly to the wheel from a waterfall-like structure into the V-shaped buckets. Overshot as well has V-shaped buckets, which allows the wheel to spin. Nowadays, we don't use water mills, but we use water-powered generators, which can be seen in many places, such as dams and much more. These generators produce much more power than their mill predecessors. They even produce enough energy to power entire cities. The figure below is a picture of Hoover Dam generators. Next, we will have some clips that will explain solar energy and wind energy.
Sunlight is made up of tiny packets of energy called photons. Every minute, enough of this energy reaches the Earth to meet the world's energy demand for a whole year. Photovoltaic panels consist of many solar cells. These are made of materials like silicon, one of the most common elements on Earth. The individual cell is designed with a positive and a negative layer to create an electric field, just like in a battery. As photons are absorbed in the cell, their energy causes electrons to become free. The electrons move toward the bottom of the cell and exit through the connecting wire. This flow of electrons is what we call electricity. By combining solar cells and photovoltaic panels, we can produce just the right amount of electricity to perform a specific job, no matter how large or small.
On top of each turbine is a box known as a nacelle. Attached to the nacelle are 3 propeller-like blades that connect to a rotor. Also on the nacelle is an anemometer to measure wind speed and direction. The wind direction rotates the nacelle to face into the wind. The energy in the wind, called kinetic energy, turns the turbine blades around the rotor, creating mechanical energy. The rotor connects to the main shaft, which turns inside the generator housing. Here, a magnetic rotor spins inside loops of copper wire. This causes electrons inside the copper to flow, creating electrical energy, what we call electricity in our daily lives. For this wind turbine, a step-up transformer inside the nacelle increases the electrical generation from 690 volts to 3,400 volts. The electricity generated then travels down large cables from the nacelle through the tower and into underground cables. The cables take the electricity generated from all the wind turbines to a substation. Here, a step-up transformer again increases the electrical output. A transmission line connects the electricity output at the substation to the electrical grid serving communities throughout the region.
Here are some pros and cons of solar power. Solar energy is in abundance. It is available almost anywhere. It gives off the most power for its size. It is small, lightweight, and portable. Cons are solar panels and cells are very expensive, and if there is no sun, then there can be no energy. Here are the pros and cons for water power. The pros are water is the most abundant natural resource. It can be made with inexpensive materials. And the cons are they must be located near or on water. And the power is dependent on the flow of the water rate. It is very large, and ice may stop the flow of water, which stops the flow of power and energy. Here are the pros and cons for wind power. The pros are wind is everywhere. It does not take up much space, and it can be positioned anywhere, even in the ocean. The cons to wind power is that it is very expensive, and if there is no wind, there is no energy. And you must have large amounts of windmills to create large amounts of energy. As you see, there are always going to be downsides to whatever type of energy source that we use. Utilizing renewable resources in transportation is something that we must do. If the transportation systems are not changed, our world will be without many of its natural resources. There are already some car manufacturers that are making electric and hybrid cars, but they are not efficient enough to be compared to the gasoline and diesel-ran motors. That is why I am going to dedicate my life to creating things like in the figures below to better our future.